Speaking about electric vehicles, it always talks about the charge to 80% and not to 100%.
Yes.
Why is that?
Because electric cars, the batteries in an electric car will always charge more slowly after 80%. So they will charge up. So for instance, the Honda E can charge at up to 100 kilowatts.
Right.
Charging speed is rated in kilowatts. So 100 kilowatt, you're going to get probably about 100 miles of range in about 20 minutes if you go to a 100 kilowatt charger.
Okay.
But when you get to 80% battery full, then that's going to slow down, probably to around about maybe even sort of under 50 kilowatts, 30 kilowatts, this kind of thing. So it will take, for instance, so I think the Honda is going to take probably about sort of 35, 40 minutes to do a 20 to 80% charge. But then the 20% after that, so 80 to 100%, might take another 20, 30 minutes because it just takes a lot longer to charge that section of the batteries.
So if I'm a homeowner, if I've bought one and I'm charging it from home, ready to take to work.
Yes.
How long am I charging it overnight? I know that's a bit of a hard question actually, but say it's completely depleted, I need it for work the next day, 100-mile round trip. What am I leaving it overnight to charge?
It will charge overnight easily. So if you've got a charger at home, then most home chargers are 7 kilowatt chargers, and that would charge this in, under 8 hours easily. It's a 35.5 kilowatt hour battery in this, so yeah, you should get quite a good charge.
Would that be fully charged?
Yeah.
Okay, fantastic. And the Honda E, this was something over 100 miles, you said,
range-wise? The official range is about 136 miles on this, I believe.
136 miles. Yeah. Is that good enough, you think?
Well, it depends on what you're going to use the car for. I mean, it's intended as an inner city car, really, or an urban car. And if you think about the fact that most people only do very short journeys, who are this car targets, then I think it probably is enough. I think it's, if you look at, rivals like the Mini Electric have a very similar range. And it is a bit hard to get your head around because I think, particularly in the UK, a lot of people who live in town still want to do longer journeys at the weekend. So I think it is a bit difficult in that respect. And I think people are still very dubious about the fast charging infrastructure. But that's improving, and I think as people become more educated in electric cars and realise that if you do short journeys, then the range isn't such an issue, then there's a huge swathe of the average motorist population out there who could live with this range very easily. And
does this allow itself to be a fast charge for, what's the highest? Is it 100?
100 kilowatts is the maximum charge you can get in this car.
This is quite fancy. I'm asking, just a guess, do you own an electric vehicle?
I run electric vehicles, yeah. All the time. I did about 9,000 miles in a Kia e-Niro in the last 6 months and I loved it. It was great. And interestingly, because I've got a home charger, I only ever use public chargers about 3 times in that mileage, and I do way more mileage than the average electric car owner because I've got a home charger. So I just never even really, it was never really a problem.
And with a home charger, is it better to go for, I think it's about £100 more, don't quote me, for a 7 kilowatt rather than a 3 kilowatt? Or is it?
Yeah, I mean, it does depend. It does depend a little bit on the electrics at your house, which only an electrician can tell you about. But most houses, you can support a 7 kilowatt charger very easily, and they're not much more expensive. And yes, it's definitely worth going for that. Yeah, definitely.
This is really fun. I do feel I've been taken back in time in this kind of car in the 80s. I didn't actually realise that the wing mirror. Not the wing mirror, what am I talking about?
The rear view mirror, I know. It's a camera as well. It's very heavy on tech, so they're going really high tech with the Honda E. Yeah, they really want to sort of set a benchmark in terms of the cabin tech. And I think it does, I mean, especially in this class, in the small car class, there's nothing else like it. It's just amazing.
Does it come with built-in sat-nav and all that?
Yeah, so you get the nav, you even get the camera wing mirrors as well as standard, which are pretty cool. So
I never spoke about the eye lines. I actually
don't mind, they definitely take some time to get used to. Yeah.
For some reason, I thought they'd be lower, but they're not actually. They're kind of.
They're a similar eye line. Yeah, they are. So I think, but it just takes a bit of time to get used to it. But I have to say the picture quality is very good, and it should give you a broader range of view. Yeah. I'm a little bit dubious about them, to be honest. I just find them very hard to get used to, and I'm not sure that the wing mirror doesn't work kind of just as well. But I'm open-minded. Maybe I haven't really had much opportunity to drive cars with virtual mirrors yet. So
no, I haven't at all. This is the first one I've sat in actually with virtual mirrors, but I like it. It definitely adds to all the tech.
It's definitely one of the techs we're going to see more of, I think. So yeah.
I like the kind of. It's really. It sounds a bit strange, but it reminds me of my granddad's house because sort of, like because of the brown.